My name is Daniah Beleford, and I am an assistant professor for the Department of Pediatrics and as well as for the Department of Physiology and Membrane Biology. I'm a physician who's board certified in clinical genetics, so I see patients with rare genetic conditions. And I'm also trained as a scientist, and my training was primarily in biochemistry and molecular biology. I've also had training in vascular biology, and my research program here at Davis focuses on the genetic origin of vascular malformations. So I do have a vascular biology lab. And it's important to study vascular malformations in patients because many patients with vascular malformations that they were born with are subject to catastrophic rupture and hemorrhage that can sometimes be lethal for these patients. And understanding the molecular interactions that regulate vascular stability can help modify their clinical course and can help scientists and physicians come up with treatments for these malformations and management guidelines and surveillance guidelines for these patients that will ultimately prolong their lives and impact their lives and improve their lives.
My name is Alexander Gamero-Garrido. I am an assistant professor in the computer science department at UC Davis, where I just started. Prior to that, I was a Ford Foundation Fellow at Northeastern University, and I got my PhD from UC San Diego. My research is at the intersection of computer science and public policy. So what that means in practice is that I am interested in policy-inspired questions that by necessity need to be studied by understanding the structure of the internet, usually with internet measurement. Throughout my research career, I've focused on security, privacy, and telecommunications. In terms of security, which is what I was hired to do here at UC Davis, and it has been my main focus. One of the projects that I led was on how exposed entire nations are to surveillance or disruption of their internet traffic. And the findings of that project is that a lot of the countries that are most exposed to these serious harms are in the global south. And in particular, authoritarian governments tend to use the structure of the internet, tend to change the structure of the internet in a way that allows them to act on internet traffic in a way that is not necessarily visible to consumers or activists or NGOs and so on.
My name is Maike Sonnewald, and I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science. I'm both a computer scientist, but also an oceanographer and climate scientist. And my program is able to blend the two together, where I target grand challenges facing us as a society. My work broadly has three main themes. The first being sparse data inference, to target improving models, both physical and machine learning models, of climate and long-range weather. So weather on timescales of weeks to months. And here, my work is featured in the NOAA AI strategy and been used to improve climate models both nationally and internationally. The second theme that I target can be described as data mining, or using machine learning to understand the overall structures that emerge in data. And as an example of impact here, my work has influenced and improved the marine protected area legislation of New Zealand, and overall I aim to use this work for management strategies. Third, my work looks at trying to understand the fundamental dynamics that manage and also are useful for predicting things like El Niño Southern Oscillation, a very important climate mode, as well as features like ocean currents surrounding the Antarctic continent, where I'm very interested, for example, also in understanding sea level. And I'm very excited about being at UC Davis and the exciting time ahead.
I am Victoria Keeton. I am an assistant professor in the Betty Irene Moore School of Nursing here at UC Davis. and I am a pediatric nurse practitioner and nurse scientist. I study the effects of social and structural factors on the health of children, and specifically the influences that social factors have on physiologic changes in children that predispose them to health outcomes specific to metabolic and mental health. I am most interested in the prenatal period, so exposures that birthing people have to social adversity during the prenatal period, and how those things might program the fetal physiology in ways that predispose a child to health issues later on in life. I think this research is important because it draws attention to the impact of structural factors and social factors on our physical health, and the use of things like precision biomedicine can also help us refine some of the interventions that we do so that we can see how people might respond better to particular interventions based on their own individual physiology. One of the things that drew me to UC Davis in particular is that the health campus, although it's in Sacramento, has a lot of networking and collaboration with this main campus here in Davis. So I work with scholars from the Department of Human Ecology, from the Department of Public Health, Epidemiology, Molecular and Biological Sciences. There's really a great interdisciplinary network here on campus, and I'm super excited to leverage that in my work.